Look, let's talk about beer. Specifically, let's talk about Bira 91. It's that beer with the cool monkey logo that popped up everywhere in India, promising a craft beer revolution. And for a while, it seemed like they were delivering. They went from a plucky startup in 2015 to a brand that was, for many, the face of modern Indian beer. They expanded fast. They raised a boatload of money. Everything seemed to be going just swimmingly. But, and you knew there was a but coming, it turns out that under all that trendy branding and frothy head, there might be a massive, stinking mess. Yes, it seems the party might be over, and the cleanup crew has arrived in the form of auditors with very, very serious faces. So, let's dive into the grim details, shall we? The auditors, a firm called Walker Chandiok & Co., took a magnifying glass to Bira 91's books for the year ending March 2024. What they found was a financial black hole. Headline number: liabilities, the money it owes, exceeded assets, the stuff it owns, by 619.6 crore. That's about $74 million. If Bira sold everything, it still couldn't pay its debts. That's not a business. That's a charity for its creditors. The company's entire net worth has been fully eroded. That line makes investors spill their coffee. It's like the foundations of your house have been replaced by Jell-O. On top of that, negative cash flows of 84 crore. More cash flew out than came in. Accumulated losses, 904 crore, which is over $228 million. Auditors. These facts raise material uncertainty about the company's ability to continue as a going concern. It's the closest an accountant gets to screaming, "Abandon ship!" Now, if you think the financial numbers are bad, wait until you hear about the human cost. Because while the executives were talking about high growth, the actual employees were apparently not getting paid. Over 250 of them signed a petition, which they sent to the company's board and major investors. This wasn't a friendly suggestion box note. This was a desperate plea asking for a change in leadership. They alleged that salaries were being delayed by up to 6 months. 6 months. You could grow a baby in that time. You could certainly grow tired of working for free. The petition didn't stop at salaries. It also claimed the company was behind on depositing employees' provident fund contributions, retirement money, and tax payments. That's not just bad management, that's playing with people's futures. On top of that, vendors who supply Bira with everything from bottles to marketing services were allegedly left with unpaid bills totaling around 50 crore. So, with auditors sounding the alarm and employees practically storming the castle, what is Bira 91's grand plan? Simple. Raise a truly colossal amount of money. Biggest fundraising effort ever, aiming to secure a lifeline of $132,000. When your ship is sinking, the answer is apparently to buy a bigger, more expensive ship. Plan, according to documents seen by Reuters, raise $50 million in equity, selling off pieces of the company, and $82 million in structured credit, which is basically a fancy, complicated loan. The founder, Ankur Jain, remains publicly confident. He stated the company has received multiple offers from potential investors, although he conveniently hasn't named any of them. The idea is to use this massive cash injection to cover working capital, the day-to-day costs of running the business, and, crucially, to pay all those overdue bills to employees and to pay vendors. If they pull this off, it would be like a last-minute game-winning touchdown. It would give them the breathing room they desperately need to stabilize the company and try to fix the underlying problems. Alright, let's break it down. Bira 91 is standing at a crossroads, and both paths look pretty terrifying. On one side, you have the immediate risk of financial collapse. The audit report is not just a warning, it's a klaxon horn blaring that the company might not be a going concern. If they can't secure that massive $132 million lifeline, the game could be over. They risk running out of cash completely, which would mean more layoffs, angry vendors suing them, and a complete shutdown of operations. The cool monkey logo would become a symbol of a spectacular flameout. This is the absolute worst-case scenario. But even if they get the money, they're not out of the woods. The employee unrest has revealed a deep rot in the company's culture and governance. You can't just throw money at a trust problem. The leadership has a massive task ahead to rebuild morale and convince its people that the company is a stable and fair place to work. Then there's the market itself. They need to lay out a clear, realistic plan for how they're going to get out of this mess. Step 1 of that plan has to be paying the people they owe money to, especially their own staff. Paying back salaries and pending dues isn't just a financial transaction. It's the first step to rebuilding trust. Is in a world of financial hurt. And this isn't just some rumor whispered over a pint at the local pub. No, this comes from an official audit report, which is the business equivalent of your doctor looking at your test results and just saying, oh dear. The report highlights what it politely calls material uncertainty, which is a fancy way of saying there's a genuine question about whether the company can even keep the lights on. It's a situation so dire that it makes you wonder if their next product launch will be a beer called Bankruptcy Blonde. Now, the company's founder, Ankur Jain, has tried to calm everyone down. He's said things like, hey, it's normal for fast-growing companies to have more bills than cash, which is a bit like saying it's normal for a skydiver to be rapidly approaching the ground without a parachute. Sure, it happens, but you'd really prefer it didn't. He's pinning his hopes on future investments and cash flow to save the day. But hope, as we know, doesn't pay the bills. And right now, Bira 91 has a mountain of bills that are getting very, very impatient. The numbers are stark, the auditors are worried, and the whole situation has gone from a cool success story to a potential meltdown. You've got a charismatic founder, rapid growth, big-name investors, and now, a shocking plot twist where everything might come crashing down. It's a cautionary tale about flying too close to the sun.